Hello everyone. What if I told you that attending and presenting at an international conference might be the single most important step that can drastically change the trajectory of your entire career in a very positive manner? If you are a researcher or a young professional based in the global south or a developing country, attending and presenting at an international conference might be the single most impactful step that you can make in order to enhance your professional standing. Would you like to explore how? I'm Dr. Farooq Rathore. I have been associated with AuthorAID for more than 15 years. First as a learner and as a mentee, then as a mentor and a course facilitator, and now for the last 3 years as an AuthorAID steward. I'm basically a rehabilitation medicine professional based in Pakistan. And like many of you, I had challenges once I started attending these international conferences. But once I look back at my career, I do feel that this was one of the most impactful steps that I made, and it has actually catapulted my career in a very positive manner. And today I'm going to discuss with you 10 reasons on why and how young researcher and professional, specifically those based in the global south or in a low middle income country, should strive to attend and present at an international conference. Now, my background is basically medical healthcare science, but whatever I'm going to discuss is actually applicable to almost all international conferences, whether they are from agriculture science, social science, computer science, or some other subject. So are you ready to explore? Reason number one, networking opportunities. These international conferences are the places where people and experts in your particular field from all around the globe gather at one place, sometime for 3-4 days and sometime for more than a week. This is the place where you can meet all these experts. You can network, you can exchange ideas, you can ask them questions, you can exchange your email addresses, and if you're carrying a visiting card, you might want to exchange that as well. This is a unique opportunity to network with people. And in today's era, where we talk of AI and online Zoom meeting, we need to understand that human beings still believe and want to have social connections. Nothing can replace a warm handshake and sharing a cup of coffee with an expert in your field, and that can actually help your career in the long run. Number two, exposure to cutting edge research and latest development in your field. These are the places where, again, people and experts from all around the globe gather at one place, and usually they present original research, they present new ideas, they hold debates on different topics, and this can actually enlighten you. It can give you a direction. You can pause and reflect on your own work, or probably you can identify the gaps that you can fill in the next coming years. So this is a great place to learn what are the latest advances happening in your field, because for most of us who are based in developing world, we don't have access to cutting edge technology, or latest research is not being conducted in at least our part of the world. But once you go abroad in these international conferences, you get to know what's happening, what's hot and what's not, what are the gaps that people are trying to fill, and maybe you can also chip in and become part of that team. Then presenting your research and getting feedback is the third reason for which you must strive to attend an international conference. Imagine standing in front of a large hall. It might include a couple of dozen people, and in some cases, it actually has hundreds of people in audience. And these people come from different parts of the world. And you have the confidence to stand in front of that large gathering and then share your experiences, share your research, and talk to them. It's a great way in order to gather more confidence and get feedback on the work that you have done. And it directly relates to the point number one that I made, that it would lead to more opportunities for networking. So please try to present at an international conference. It would take extra effort, but unless you do that, you are not going to take that first step and you're not going to up your game. Then number four is learning from world-class opportunities of workshop and training sessions. Let's be honest, for most of our institutes based in the developing world, our academic environment is not as good as what is, let's say, in Northern America, Europe, Japan, or Australia. Most of us do not have resources to go abroad for trainings for months and years. We don't have resources or funding. But if you go to these international conferences, most of these conferences have very focused training sessions, hands-on workshop, or lecture program, or interactive roundtable discussion. So within those few hours or few days, you are going to get exposed to world-class training. And this training can actually help you a lot in clarifying your own concept, becoming a better professional, and maybe transferring a part of that knowledge back to your own home. Number 5, access to funding. Most of the international conferences and organizations, they would offer travel grants, travel bursaries, and scholarship to researchers and young professionals, usually less than 40 years of age, based in developing country. Reason number 6, career development and job opportunities. Many of these international conferences have specific job fairs for young researchers and young professionals. Many of them have networking events which are geared specifically for young researchers. And if you attend these conferences and you attend these events, you are going to get an idea where the world is moving. What are the opportunities available? Which are the organizations who offer, let's say, postdoctorates, or who have scholarship funding or funding opportunities available for people based in developing world. And you can't actually explore all these things if you don't take the extra step of making that effort and attending an international conference. So please consider. Number 7, building your confidence and your professional identity. We are living in a hyper-competitive world where, at least in academia, you have to present your research, you have to publish your research, you have to stand in front of an audience, and you have to talk to them. So if you go abroad and you have something on your CV that says that you have presented at 2, 3, 4, 5, or even more international conferences, that would actually add to your professional identity as an expert in that particular field, which is definitely going to help you in the long term. Number 8 is local cultural exchange and local cultural experience. Once you go abroad, it is not only for education, learning, training, and networking. You get to know about new cultures. You get to experience about new ways how people live, how people interact, how do different countries work. And specifically for developing countries in which we do not have a very advanced technological infrastructure, even going to a country in Europe or maybe in Northern America, Japan, and that exposure to that technology which they use in day-to-day life is actually something very enlightening and eye-opening. So this cultural exchange can actually enrich you as a person. So do make the best use of an opportunity to go to an international conference, because apart from that educational value that it also carries a very important personal value, and that is of cultural exchange. Ultimately, all these things enhance your CV. So whenever 2 or 3 people are competing from the same job, from the same institute, having the same kind of education, background, training, and degree, and only one of them has on their CV that the person has presented at 2 or 3 international conferences, whether a poster presentation or maybe an oral presentation, and maybe the person has also won a travel grant, it is definitely going to enhance your CV, which means that your career prospects are now much better than your colleagues who never took that extra step of attending an international conference. So these things do matter in the long term. 10th and the last thing is, once you attend these international conferences, ultimately because of the networking, your repeated attendance in these conferences, exchanging ideas with people, sitting over a cup of coffee, attending these job fairs, networking even for young professionals, people start accepting you as a leader in your field. And I can tell you from my own personal example, my background is in rehabilitation medicine. I come from Pakistan. I was one of the very few people who started attending these international conferences as a resident, even before I became a physician consultant. And as a result, After 18 years, now people invite me to different conferences as an invited speaker. I get speaking opportunities. I sit on many international committees, exchange programs, and I create opportunities for my younger colleagues. So, just to summarize, there are 10 strong reasons for which you must strive to attend an international conference. Number one, it would provide you with networking opportunities and expanding your network. Number two, it would expose you to cutting edge research and latest development in your own respective field. Number three, you will present research and get excellent quality feedback from global experts. Number four, you will have an opportunity to learn from world-class workshop and a diverse training all at one place within few days. Then you will have hopefully access to funding opportunities, travel grants, and other things. Then it would lead to career development and good job opportunities. It would build your confidence and professional identity as an expert in that particular field. Number eight, it would lead to a cultural exchange and a group, and you will get a global perspective of different people around the world. It would ultimately enhance your CV and your professional standing. And last, and number 10 is it will help you become a global leader in your field. I'll be very honest with you. This journey is not going to be easy, particularly if you are based in a developing country, but it's doable. Just look around. Many people around you are actually attending and presenting at these international conferences. And if you follow their career trajectory, ultimately these are the people who might succeed not only in getting good jobs, good opportunities for speaking, research, networking, but these are the ones who after a couple of years are going to be accepted as leader in that particular field. So what are you waiting for? Go, explore, and try to attend your next international conference based on the motivation and 10 tips that I gave you. I wish you good luck. Thank you.